This is a nice looking group. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vincent Sherrill. And the issue I'll be touching on today is mental health, drugs and therapy. My presentation will be just an introduction to a series of discussions we, the members of BPC, would like to engage our families, our communities, and you all. Because we recognize and understand that we, as well as society, has a mental health issue. We're going through some things. Nobody in this room is immune to a mental health disorder. Nobody. Matter of fact, if we search the DSM-4, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, I'm sure that each one of us can relate to something in that book. Ranging from mild depression to a psychotic disorder. Nobody is comfortable with talking about their problems or putting their business on the streets for everybody to judge and look at and probably use against them. But today I offer myself as a human specimen and lay down on the therapist's couch of mental evaluation in the hopes to give you a glimpse into the mind of an incarcerated man still dealing with mental health disorders. But wait, the therapist has never reported to work. So I have to examine myself until help arrives. In order for me to understand this issue of mental health and how it related to me waking up in a cold prison cell serving a life sentence, I had to draw a line all the way back to my childhood and ask myself two questions. How healthy was my mind then, and how healthy is my mind now? The self-examination from childhood to adulthood again. I examined myself through the lens of my family relationship. As the baby of the family, I found myself being shielded from a lot of family struggles, but children are sharper than their parents give them credit for. So I was aware of the separation of my moms and pops and felt the struggle swiftly of being raised by a single mother. I'm a mama's boy. I love my mama dearly. And I owe her a lot. I examined myself as a teenager during a special time in my life. My parents attempted to rectify their relationship for the sake of their baby son. Life was good with Pop back home. It was nice. My mom and brother pulled me out of class one day, took me home and sat me down and told me that my father had been murdered. A week later, my brother brought home the car that my father was murdered in and called me down and taught me an early lesson. And we cleaned the clotted blood that was on the seats. And he spoke to me. I examined myself in relation to when I hit the streets, drinking, smoking, weed laced with PCP. I snorted cocaine, and I joined the neighborhood gang. I sold drugs, I robbed people as a way to justify not allowing myself to be taken care of by a single mother struggling in a system I came to believe conspired so she can stay at that low class. They attempted to desecrate my black Madonna. That's how I felt. I examined my gang activities and how it related to the inner city violence that plagued Tacoma since my generation took to the streets in 1986, all the way to present day. I have to acknowledge the fact that I shot people, and I've been shot. I've witnessed my friends and comrades get shot and killed. I've seen my share of violence from both ends as victim and as victimizer. I examined my 2 prior prison sentences and how it related to how I felt about life, freedom, and family. I'm examining my present day incarceration and how it relates to how I feel about myself today. I concluded my self-examination and diagnosed myself as one mental, unhealthy individual. I need something. What options are available to prisoners seeking treatment for mental health disorders? Drugs, here's something for you. The cost of medication here at Monroe alone is astronomical. The estimated cost of medication is around $33,000 a day. Now think about what your taxpayer money for. $330,000 every 10 days, for $3.3 million every 100 days, $6.6 million 200 days, $9.9 million every 360 days. Every 300 days equals a whopping $12,045,000 a year on medication alone right here at Monroe. Now, if you want another assignment, go do the studies on all other joints in Washington State. So we think that we can medicate this problem away. I'm not refusing treatment, but I do refuse to stand in the rank and file of the many disconnected men I see lined up waiting to receive their daily rations of color-coded pills. My preference of treatment would have to be therapy, cognitive therapy, group therapy, family therapy, behavior therapy, and psychotherapy. Therapy offers hope and attempt to enhance the person receiving therapy, sensitivity, openness, personal responsibility, and a sense of purpose. Drugs are not the only way to give the body a lift. I experienced that in my use of drugs on the streets. By helping the patient reverse a now habitual negative thinking style, cognitive therapy can boost the drug-aided relief from depression and reduce the post-treatment risk of relapse. Some mental health illnesses can be cured and can be treated with a combination of the right administered medication and therapy, or just therapy. But pumping pills in a person alone, that can't be the only viable solution to treat mental health illnesses. Antidepressant drugs are popular in North America, which accounted for 75% of the $13.4 billion in worldwide sales in 2000. We're addicted to drugs. I can recall, when the war on drugs began. That's probably the longest running war that we have in America. I was victim to that, and I victimized some with that. They say if you don't know about the past, you're bound to repeat it, right? So I decided to give us all a real quick history lesson. And we can relate this to what you're about to hear today and all the issues.